Alright, what's happening, my blocked buddies? This is Blocked Content. My name is Callum, and today we're checking out some more Nintendo Switch news. And actually, there isn't that much, but actually what is happening right now is a little bit concerning, and I thought that I had to let you guys know, because it's concerning a little bit of the Wii U. And as you guys know, the Wii U sort of has this weird reputation at this moment, because it seems like the Nintendo Switch is kind of doing all of the things that the Wii U potentially has been, trying to do, and the Nintendo Switch is just doing it a lot better, which is a weird thing to say, but yeah, if you think about it, the Wii U is actually a console, a home console, with, a controller that is essentially a screen in your hands, but the Nintendo Switch is the exact same thing, but probably a better resolution, and also, of course, you can take that screen anywhere with you. The Nintendo, Wii U, that screen you could only take so far away from your console. It was wireless, but, if you take it any further than your toilet or anything like that, the connection would be lost, and now you have this, portable console that you can take anywhere with you on the go. So it seems like there's no more need for a Wii U, especially if you consider Nintendo, of course, is going to be making new games, and they would rather make new games for a new console, which is, probably going to end up a lot more powerful too, maybe even moving into the space of 4K gaming, and that would be a very big thing for Nintendo. Also, to me, it's very, concerning that this report that we are actually talking about today came out, and there's been some, conflicting thoughts on this as well. Let me just talk to you about something that came up on thenextweb.com. And this is a website that reports on all sorts of hardware and software news. Their gaming tab actually says today that Nintendo mercifully kills Wii U ahead of the Switch launch. So they're reporting that, they're saying Wii U is the bastard stepchild of Nintendo. Their product is set to meet its maker this week, which would mean that the production is going to end. Teaming with potential, Nintendo's regrettable successor to the popular Wii never quite found a home with gamers. Now, I kind of agree with this, because there was so much that this console could potentially be doing, and it was all hanging on, what the potential was of those games released for the system, and that never really got the ball rolling. They're saying a console with a touchscreen and cumbersome gamepad, it seems it's just too difficult to develop for. Also for third parties, of course, but for Nintendo itself, down the line they didn't even do anything special with that gamepad, especially for their biggest games, which were, of course, Super Smash Bros. For Wii U, Super Mario 3D World. They didn't really use that gamepad to any sort of, special advantage. The Wii U lacked the power of Sony and Microsoft's offerings, as it typically does with Nintendo, but without some serious fandom behind the console. So, the games, the AAA games that really just weren't coming for the most part, it was really doomed from the start. And to that, the truly bizarre design, and you'll see why even the highly anticipated Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild couldn't save this console. So they're reporting that this week, however, we'll get to say our goodbyes as the last consoles roll off the assembly line, never to be spoken of again. So, to me, this report is a bit weird. Where do they get their information from? This seems a bit out there, but thinking about it, it would make sense for Nintendo to discontinue this product, as their next product that is coming very soon, it's already getting this big reveal trailer or Nintendo Direct in January, which is extremely soon. New Year is coming pretty darn fast. We're in November right now, and to think that that console is actually launching in March, to me, is insane. And to still have something of a Wii U, presence, and have games, new games come out for that system, I think that if Breath of the Wild were to release simultaneously for the Wii U and for the Nintendo Switch, that audience that you're trying to capture, that hardcore gamer that wants the, Legend of Zelda experience but open world, that exact gamer also wants that Nintendo Switch and is going to get it launch day. It's the same audience. And, they even show that with the Nintendo Switch trailer. The very first thing you see is this, guy in his 20s, late 20s, playing The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. So they even acknowledge it themselves. To me, this is a little bit concerning and does make me believe this supposed leak. They say, for me, I never really got into the Wii U, so I'm not going to shed tears over its demise. If you're looking for Nintendo at its finest, check out the NES Classic Mini, or you can wait and see what's in store for the Nintendo Switch when it drops next year. The latter so far looks to offer some real promise to a Nintendo brand that's become sort of console irrelevant in recent years. A true gaming anywhere system, the Switch could just be what gets Nintendo back on track. Fingers crossed. Here are a few points that I don't necessarily agree with the nextweb.com. I got into the Wii U just fine. I actually used to use it as like my home entertainment device as well. I know it did a lot of Netflix capabilities too. If that were to work in the Netherlands, I probably would have used it a lot more, but that service is extremely cumbersome. Also, we don't really get the good shows here. We only get the shows that are, years and years old, but using it as this sort of, we used to fire the eShop up here and just watch trailers and just download new demos and play them and have a good time. And if there was a new game out, we'd go to the store and get that, Nintendo Pass with, the online coins, and you would buy a new game and just, have fun and play a new game on the Wii U. And at parties, that system was doing so well with games like Nintendo Land, crushing it. But yeah, it was never really that console where I sat down, had a cool single-player experience. The closest that I could think of was something like Wind Waker HD, or, I haven't played it, but Twilight Princess HD as well, and something like Super Mario 3D World. Those would be real games where you could sit down and just take a moment, and for me, Pikmin 3 was that as well, but they never really had those games that appeal to that audience that just wants to experience a game, sit down for the story, sit down for, that single-player experience, and that has to do with a lot for these, hardcore gamers. And I think also the casual gamers sometimes wants a little bit more than just a party game. So for me, the Nintendo Switch has that promise. So I kind of agree with this, but the Wii U had some really good days here in this household at least. So I'm hoping for the Nintendo Switch to bring the thunder in that respect. It's really sad to hear that Nintendo is supposedly quitting development until this report that was just filed November 2nd at around 2:40 p.m., which is actually saying digitaltrends.com is reporting that Nintendo denies the end of Wii U production this week. Which is weird because there isn't really that much that Nintendo is saying on it, and we just hear it from a spokesperson. So this is the report from Digital Trends. It says, no. Despite a previous report alleging Nintendo will shut down Wii U console production on Friday, the company broke its silence and shut down the unnamed sources that made that assertion, and denied their claims. A spokesperson for the company stated that Nintendo has no plans to halt production anytime soon, despite the recent Nintendo Switch console reveal. Even more, there are software titles still rolling out on this most recent console. So, yeah, they are right. There are no real named sources for that leak that just came out. So, maybe it was just an article trying to get some views. With that, good job, because you did it. We're reporting on it too. Nintendo spokesperson is saying, quote, there is no change to our continuing Wii U production, end quote, the spokesperson said. Quote, even though the Nintendo Switch is slated to go on sale, and I think they mean pretty soon, the Nintendo Wii U production is scheduled to continue, end quote. So, scheduled to continue doesn't really say all that much. Maybe they could have said, yeah, there are still great games coming out. And earlier this week, Eurogamer claimed that the final Wii U unit would exit Nintendo's manufacturing plant on Friday, ending the console's production run 4 years after it launched worldwide November 2012. This isn't the first time Nintendo had to dismiss such a claim, as it previously denied reports stating that it would end Wii U production in March of this year, which, of course, is a lot sooner. Unfortunately, even given the overwhelming success of Nintendo's last generation Wii console, the Wii U doesn't share the same successful reputation despite the shared name. They're saying it struggled to find an audience in the face of competition from Sony's PlayStation 4 and Microsoft's Xbox One. Initially backed by a slate of third-party titles, the Wii U lost the support of many major publishers after their console-exclusive releases met with limited success and low sales. So we're kind of looking at games like Bayonetta, we're kind of looking at, Actually, Ubisoft is not really doing anything with Nintendo consoles, but they're trying to get back on that horse with Switch. Digital Trends is reporting that the past year saw only a handful of first-party Wii U releases, and as you guys know, our blocked content audience, the first-party titles is definitely where it's at. That is, what matters to the Nintendo core audience, because the third-party titles you could get anywhere and they'd look just as good or better, but you want the Marios, the Star Foxes, the Metroids, the Zeldas, you name it, only Nintendo can deliver those kinds of things. And they're actually saying that including standouts like Star Fox Zero, which we didn't think was all that good, Mirage Sessions, Fire Emblem, which was awesome, and Paper Mario Color Splash, which we reported on a load and was actually enjoyable, but didn't hold up with the rest of the franchise, but did steer it in a direction that we are very positive about. They're saying over the course of its brief lifespan, the platform also hosted HD remakes of The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess and The Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker. The Zelda series' next entry, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, will launch for the Wii U and Nintendo Switch next year, so hopefully they will do that together. Nintendo officially unveiled the Wii U successor last month, announcing that the Nintendo Switch will hit retail worldwide on March. This is very exciting, of course, because having it launch on the exact same day anywhere would be crazy and everyone would be lining up. Me too. I would go to, the closest store here and just camp out with my other block buddies right here. The Switch promises to bridge the gap between Nintendo's home consoles and portable platforms, serving as both a handheld gaming unit and a dedicated home console via an included docking station. Recent rumors suggest that Nintendo Switch will feature a capacitive multi-touch display, ending Nintendo's long-standing attachment to resistive touchscreen technology, which is totally awesome. I love that we'll be able to zoom and do things like that. I think the games will really benefit from something of a multi-touch display. It's been a long time coming, and I'm so happy that Nintendo is doing it. Let's hope that they, handle that well, because for games on the go, that could really make a giant differences. And I even think games like Animal Crossing and a potential Pokemon Snap game could use multi-touch functions on the screen very well. And not to even mention things like multiplayer games, right? That could be so cool. Like Nintendo's 3DS portables, the Wii U gamepad features a resistive touchscreen and requires players to use a stylus for accurate input. The gamepad peripheral is widely cited as one of Wii U's biggest weaknesses, as developers often struggled to adapt their games to suit its limited functionality and single-touch display. Despite the Wii U's console's seemingly low popularity as of late, independent developers have many digital releases in store for Wii U eShop through the end of the year. Given Nintendo's current software lineup, however, it's very likely that The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild will be the Wii U's final first-party release when it ships in 2017. I think that is right on the money for digitaltrends.com, because I don't really see any reason why Nintendo would now develop, first-party titles for that console. To me, it would kind of be a pity release, as you will, if they would release that new 3D Mario that we've seen for the Switch, if they would release that for the Wii U. I can see them doing it. It would be very Nintendo to kind of still get some sales out of the Wii U audience, but to me, it's time for something new. Nintendo acknowledges that it's time for something new, that it's time to focus on sort of a new audience, not new audience, but the old audience, I suppose, to get them back and to kind of still show that casual gamer audience that, hey, there are experiences a little bigger than something like a Nintendo Land or Wii Party U. And to me, all these reports, it kind of goes either way, because to me, if the Wii U would continue development, it would still do very bad, right? Because now the Switch is coming, and that's not going to make it any easier for the console to get any sales, because there's this giant better product that is supposedly going to get a lot better sales. So to me, if the Wii U would just end production tomorrow, no one would be crying, because it has such a library of great games, though. To me, the standouts are, of course, Super Smash Bros. For Wii U. It's an exceptional game. I think Mario Kart 8 is an exceptional game, and it looks so pretty. Super Mario 3D World doesn't really hold up next to Mario Galaxy kind of games, but it has such a charm, it has such an attention to detail, and it's very fun to play a 3D Mario game with 4 of your friends, or, through your friends, including you. And I just think that for people to now discover Wii U, please play some of those games, especially if those games down the line will not get ported to the Switch. I think for a lot of these games they will, but for Mario 3D World, for example, that won't. I think Mario Kart 8 has a very big chance, as we've seen in the trailer, but probably it will be like a Super Mario Kart Switch or something, with new added content, so that would be your best bet to just get that one. Also, for Smash Bros. For Wii U, I think it's also the best bet to wait on a Smash Bros. For Switch if you don't already own a Wii U, because even though the game's pretty great, there's something coming on the horizon. We can all feel it. There will be a Smash game for every console. We know this for a fact. Sakurai cannot hide this. And whenever that hype train starts, you better know that Block Content will be on board. Anyway, this is all we have to report on Nintendo Switch for today. I really hope that, they kind of get rid of that Wii U as soon as possible, because even though, it is a great console, the people who want to own it already own it. You don't have to create new ones, because that same audience will be getting the Nintendo Switch, which is your next step. And Nintendo, you should focus on what is ahead and not what has already been, because that doesn't always really help with Nintendo. Even though their franchises are extremely awesome, we just want to see them in new, exciting ways. And you can already see that with The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and the potential new Mario game, 3D Mario game. So they're doing the right things, and I hope with the Wii U, they're handling it also with respect and love, because that console deserves a proper send-off. And to me, I still love the console. I actually fired it up today to just check out the Animal Crossing Direct, which I liked and was kind of weird. Anyway, this is everything from Blocked Content today. Remember that we have a Super Mario Maker Goodie Challenge. And what this means is we have some Super Mario Maker goodies that are magnets that you can place in your fridge and create your own level with tiny sprites. Just place a unique comment down below and you could be the one to get it in the mail pretty soon. Anyway, thank you so much. There's always more Nintendo Switch news around the corner, and for everything else on Nintendo, gaming, and media as a whole, please subscribe to Blocked Content, because we're very close to 1,000 subscribers, and we're gearing up for an awesome live stream event where we will talk Nintendo news, gaming news in general, and we will do some cool media, very original artistic things that I can't really talk about right now, but I'm very excited about. I will just make a sound when that's about to happen. Please subscribe to Blocked Content, and we'll see you guys around the corner where there's always more news. See ya.